What's going on, everybody? This is Zach here. We are back with some NBA DFS action. Coming back from the All-Star break, we have a two-game slate between the Wizards and the Grizzlies, and then the Spurs and the Mavericks. So, really small slate, but at least it's something, right, to get back in the NBA groove post All-Star break. So we'll be dropping some gems here, going over my core plays, who I'm going to build around. Type of style I usually play is this building one lineup and trying to take down everything with one lineup. I'm not a person that's going to use an optimizer or give exposures to every possible player. Just not my style. So that's what this content is more geared for. Is kind of those single entry or using one lineup in GPPs type of build. So with the two-game slate, my approach is usually just to stack the game that's more appealing to me, and then fill in maybe one or two pieces from the other game as needed. So the last two game slate I played was actually the late night slate before the All-Star break, where we had the Kings take on the Trailblazers, and then the Suns play the Warriors. And I actually did really, really well that night. Ended up taking home over $1,000 payout. Mostly because, again, stacking just one game, in which case this one was the Kings and Trailblazers, and then filling in with some of those key value pieces from the Warriors. As you know, we saw Steph Curry, Draymond, and Kelly Oubre all out. So, again, really, really good night that night, and hopefully we can replicate that with this two-game slate that we have coming up today. So, starting off, you'll see here my number one stud that I'm probably going to be building around is going to be Mr. Russell Westbrook at 10,100. We've seen Russell really starting to turn it on, get acclimated to that Wizards team, find his groove and his role with Bradley Beal, and start posting some of those numbers that we're used to seeing him post. So, as you can tell, the Wizards and Grizzlies game is going to be my more favorable game that I'm going to be trying to stack rather than the Spurs and Mavericks. So, Russell Westbrook coming in at 10,100 is for sure going to be one of my core pieces that I'm going to be building around. I think he can get close, if not outperform Luka at 10.7. And for a $600 discount, I'll take that all day. So yeah, give me some Russell Westbrook, lock him in at 10,100. I do expect him to drop a 50 bomb here against the Grizzlies. So going right to the other side of this game, I do really, really like Ja Morant at $7,800. Again, just going to stack this game pretty heavily, so why not get the point guard from the opposite team of the Grizzlies? He's looking really, really good lately, and again, high pace, high scoring game is what I'm expecting out of this Wizards and Grizzlies game. So yeah, lock in Ja Morant in that guard position right on the opposite side of Russell Westbrook. And let's just watch these two go back and forth. I really like Ja's game here. Expecting to get some key defensive stats as well, maybe a couple of steals, and really expecting him to outperform his $7,800 price tag. Now, we can't just load up on all studs, so this is going to be a value play that I'm probably going to be locking in as well, and that's going to be Mr. Robin Lopez at 3,400. Now, definitely not the most exciting play out there, but this guy, as long as he gets some run and gets some minutes, he can definitely outperform his $3,400 price tag. We've seen him post double-digit scoring, I think like three straight games lately, and going up against Jonas Valanciunas, I think the Wizards are going to need his size to come in and try to match up and body up with him. Now, we did just see the Wizards play the Grizzlies, and Robin Lopez went 6 for 6 in that game. I definitely don't expect that to happen again, but he also didn't get many rebounds or many other stats. So I think we'll see him balance that out in this game with matchup against Jonas Valanciunas. And Robin Lopez, I think if he can score at least 15 to 18 points, I think that would be sufficient enough on the slate, because I do view this slate as more of a star and stud, star and scrub approach for a build, just because the mid tier really isn't that appealing so far at this time during this slate. So Robin Lopez at 3,400 for me feels like one of the more viable value options, and it's going to allow you to get more studs and stars into your build approach. And so, rounding out my core plays for today, we are going with Mr. LaMarcus Aldridge. Now, LaMarcus Aldridge hasn't really been seeing that many minutes before the All-Star break. But that's because, he's been out with an injury, trying to recover from that month-long injury that he was out for, trying to get back into the swing of things. We've seen Trey Lyles get the starts and play like 30 plus minutes in the past couple of games, but I'm expecting LMA to get reinserted back into the starting lineup after this All-Star break. I think this All-Star break is really good for him, getting that much needed kind of final rest and get ready for the second half of the season. Spurs are in playoff contention, and they're going to need LaMarcus to come back into the rotation and provide that kind of second scoring output to help out DeMar DeRozan, DeJounte Murray. So I really do like LaMarcus Aldridge. This is the cheapest we've seen him in over a month at 5,500, and he can definitely do some damage against that weak Dallas front court. So I do really like LaMarcus Aldridge as long as he's in the starting lineup. This is something I would prefer him to see starting, just because I know that Popovich is going to at least give him, his normal amount of run, maybe high 20s, low 30 minutes, which would be more than enough for LaMarcus to pay off this $5,500 price tag. If he's not starting, then I don't hate going back to Trey Lyles. We've seen him put up some good numbers in 30 plus minutes of run and at his price tag of 4K. I would say Trey Lyles would be viable if he's starting. So this is one of the things I do want to watch the starting lineup to see what Popovich does. Of course, if you've been playing DraftKings or DFS long enough, we all have a getting ruined by Popovich story. But if LMA's in the starting lineup, I do trust Popovich to give him, some high 20, low 30-minute run and really pay off that $5,500 price tag and get you at least one piece from that Spurs Mavericks game. That way we can all load up on that Wizards and Grizzlies game. So that's going to be it. That's going to be my core four for today. Again, I'll use this build to build around and create my one lineup. And that way we can use that across multiple contests. Again, that's just more my style and how I like to play DFS. So that's today's NBA video. As always with NBA, though, make sure to watch out for that late news and late injury news to make your swaps as needed. We'll be coming out with a PGA video soon as well, and then coming back with some more NBA content throughout the week. MLB is coming up in a month. I'm excited to get some content out there for MLB also. And again, just really looking forward to creating some more content for you guys and some more DFS videos using this kind of single lineup theory. So thanks everybody. Make sure you subscribe and like this video.